Look, man. So here's the thing. 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 Yo. Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the So Here's the Thing podcast. I am your boy, Young Stiz.
Yo, it's two in the building. You already know the vibes.
This podcast today is sponsored by So Here's the Thing merch. Everybody should head on to the website. Go get you a nice piece on there. We really work hard putting these new curations together. I don't know if the summer stuff is still up. I don't think I ever made it up, but for sure, if you're getting ready for your fall winter situations, we definitely up there. So, thank you for sponsoring today's episode.
Today's episode is also sponsored by insert sponsorship here. This could be you. Just hit us.
Factorious. Two guns, what it is, man. 113, we here.
Ain't nothing, brother. I'm just here. Another day. It's been a minute, but we back. Don't know when the next time we gonna be back, but we here now.
We're gonna make conscious decisions to be a little more consistent on the front. We've been putting things together. How you been?
It's been a rough couple of months.
I'll say the least.
It's been a rough couple of months. Had some close calls, but we good. Life is back on track. It still ain't great, but I'm alive.
Yeah, I mean, you did have some couple close calls. I mean, we both did. But like you said, we've been maneuvering and maintaining. Certain realizations we've had in life took some shots. But like I said, if we not here recording, it's not because we don't want to record. We love putting the episodes out. We actually had some cancellations because we were supposed to do this a couple of weeks before, but certain things didn't work out or whatever the case may be. So to everybody that keep asking when the new episode drop and whatever, it's not that we don't want to do it. We love record. This is actually therapeutic. Well, I don't know for you. It's still therapeutic for me.
Oh no, absolutely. It's 100% that. It's just holidays come up in real life on recording days, and we got stuff to do.
Yeah. And we kind of like moved out to this space because of those things, but life don't care about nothing we got going on because it's still we doing it.
Brooklyn, Jersey, PA, don't matter. Life gonna be life. We just do what we can when we can.
But we working on it. We working on it for sure. Mental health check though.
Like I said, I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm actually it's like I said, it's been a really rough couple of months. Had a lot of stuff going on personally, but you know, through the grace of God, I made it here.
Grace of God.
You know, God blessed me. God he guided me through, and I'm here now.
Word.
What about you?
Same thing. Been in a wild little state of gray, I call it, for a while, where it's just like gloomy outside. Everything else is going on good in the world, I guess. Well, not in the world. Not in the world.
No, it's not.
We'll probably get to that. Probably not, but the world is crazy. But, you know, like, the weather is beautiful, but you still feel like you got that gray cloud hanging over your head. We're going through a lot of that lately. But, like you said, through the grace of God, we've been putting 2 and 2 together to make 4. It's just...
making 3.5.
Yeah, that's the problem, son. It's 2 and 2 supposed to make 4, but we keep coming up short, around a 3 and 7.
Yeah, 3.8. You just can't get that final point too. I don't understand.
But we've been moving. I got some questions because I know like, because you was going through whatever you was going through, you were supposed to record, but it's like some TikTok things that was going viral at the moment, and I think later I probably do one of the challenges with you that I told you about.
All right.
But because I know who you are and how you lived for majority of your life, I've seen you go through various different households and all of that shit. So I want to know, specifically, when do you think you find out the most about a person? In travel, when money's involved, when they upset, or when you live with them? Like, when do you find out the most about somebody?
What's the relation to the person? Because I think it's different depending on the relation to the person.
How so?
Like, my life experience, you learn the most about the person you in a relationship with when you all live together.
All right.
Like you could be around, you could go on dates, you could stay over there a couple days, they could stay with you a couple days. It ain't till y'all live together 24/7. There's no other place to call home.
Mm-hmm.
So where you learn about your partner,
Right.
because at that point, in my experience, when y'all don't live together 24/7, when you come into any relationship, there's that sense of your representative is there,
Yeah.
and while that declines little by little, the closer you get to that person.
Yeah.
As long as y'all live separately, there's always gonna be a little part of that still there. You can't hide nothing when Shorty could just see you sitting on the toilet. Like you can't hide nothing where you just in the living room playing a game, the sink full of dishes, and she like, yo, you ain't clean nothing, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? All those type of things.
Little...
You don't know all these full things until you live with a person. Now, as far as friendship is concerned, I think you learn the best about your friendship during both of y'all hard times. Like it could be hard times in your life or hard times in your friend's life, and how y'all navigate that together is how you really learn, like in which level of friendship and where you place them as far as friendship in your life.
All right. For me, I think just to answer my own question, right? So I feel like so your distinction was relations to the person, right?
Yeah.
I think my distinction is the age phase of your life. So friendships, fresh out of high school friendships, like fresh young adult friendships,
Mm-hmm.
or relationships. The world is your oyster, right? You don't know nothing. You don't really know much. You ain't really had that many life experiences. So I feel like we go travel. I find out like this nigga's a cheap person, or this person's a cheap person, or this person ain't the most responsible person, or whatever. Like the Airbnbs, you go ruin an Airbnb on a hotel because you got drunk one night, or still in the traveling sense, it's like you go somewhere with a friend or a girl and you realize they drink too much, and then that's when you realize like, yo, this person's crazy, and then you find yourself in situations that you ain't supposed to be in, fighting or whatever the case may be, and then you messing up, whatever. As far as like relationship goes, I feel like the older you get, that becomes a heavier filter for y'all, right? Because to everything you listed, your representative is no longer there, and the older you are, the more controlled you are on your representative versus your real life.
Yeah.
Because the older you are, less of your representatives show up.
Yeah, you stop caring as much.
Yeah, so now you just a lot of things hit a little quicker.
Yeah,
But
I agree with that.
but when you younger, your representative stamina could go for a while.
Yeah, I might pretend to be this nigga for 6 months
That's what I'm saying.
to a year.
Or
I done pretended to be a good nigga for like a year.
I've seen you last a whole relationship pretending to be. So it's just like those type of things happen. Money though, money and friendships, no matter the age, can get sticky.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing that could get sticky no matter, like, whether the relationship's solid or not. I think that can happen. I want to go back real quick to what you said about the friendships like out of high school or whatever. Like you said like travel's a good measure for you to find. Like the reason why I personally disagree with that, at least in my experience, is because those things you mentioned, like if this person cheap, if this person a wild person, if that's the one that's gonna be aggressive, get y'all into a fight, get y'all in the gym, you know that stuff before you go on this trip.
Right.
Like if you pay attention to your friends, the in my experience at least, before I ever travel with any of my friends, the signs of that's the wild one, this the one that drink too much, this the one that get high and do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
We was doing shit in the hood together, so I'd seen all these things.
Right.
So it wouldn't, even if I went on a trip and those things happened, I wouldn't be like, yo, this is my eye opener to this person being like that.
Yeah.
Because they just doing a magnified version of the shit I seen them do at home.
While you're right, I'm not disagreeing per se with you. You know, it's just like I've also seen people in the comfort of their own situation act one way and then go somewhere else and it be a whole different person. So in my mind, if you act rowdy at the crib in the hood or whatever,
Right.
I'm assuming when we out of the country or out of the state or out of this circumference, you going to change your thought process. In my mind, at least that's why I said that's how I measure that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people like would trash their own crib, throw shit at the TV and all that other shit when they mad. But outside, like if we go to like my friend's crib or somebody else's area, they at least got that type of respect where it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna violate they shit.
Yeah, but if they were to, you wouldn't be shocked by it.
Nah, but you right. Nah, I won't be. But
Like it'd just be like, oh yeah, this is this person.
but I
So
go into it giving them the benefit of the doubt. Like
Yeah.
you're not
Like-
gonna get us in jail in Africa, bro.
Like in my experience, it's rarely ever the opposite, where that person has been calm, cool, collected a vibe, and then y'all go away and then they turn into some type of wild person.
Yeah, that's just
Like at least in my life, I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I'm pretty sure it does, but in my life, that has not been the case as much.
right.
It happens actually a lot more with women than anything. Like in my life.
Yeah, I've seen to your point, women friendships and women like in relationships, those things kind of like swing a little differently.
Oh, the Miami trip ruins every female friend.
Yeah, for
every
some
female friend group go to shit the minute they touch Miami.
son, I don't understand it. And Miami trips bring all the male friendships closer,
Yes,
cause that's when we realize that yo, we ain't the richest, but we gonna make something shake.
we gonna figure it out. We gonna put it together. And for some reason with them, at least in my experience, it always ends up with at least about 2-3 of them not being part of that friend group no more.
Nah, for sure, for sure. What was the other measurement I had? It was travel, money,
And you was talking about
living with them. There was one more. Oh, when they upset.
okay.
So here's my difference with that, right? To your point. No. Back to my point. All of these things, like I said, got like an age. I measure them by age. When we upset and we young, like I said, we boisterous. As male to male friendships, when we younger, it's a lot of ego involved. Not saying the ego doesn't go away, but it's a lot more egotistical moves that young men make to each other.
Yeah, you go a lot more forward facing when you're younger.
Yeah. And then women, like male to women, the ego is still there because you're trying to like be impressive. I think, yeah, I feel like you're trying to be impressive. I feel like you're trying to basically show off.
I say the ego more fragile when you're younger.
Yes.
Like the ego's, because as the older you get, you've been through these scenarios with women where your ego got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said something disrespectful, and you learn to navigate. Like I can't handle women but a certain way with disrespect or with hurting my ego or whatever.
Right.
And the more you deal with that, like the better you handle it as you get older.
Right.
Young dudes, I'm not saying they right, but sometimes like a blow to their ego could cause them to crash out.
Yep.
Whereas as an adult, they might go, I just need to separate from this person.
Yeah, like a blow to the ego could still cause like somebody grown and developed to crash out as well, but the crash out might be a little more disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm not gonna burn your house down, but you know, I might do something else. I don't know. Like even right now, I can't even. I haven't been in that position to have to do that, but I know for a fact I wanted to burn somebody's house down.
I was there.
So it's like
I was there.
so I know like those things. That is crazy. But those things, like you just see various different like standpoints on how people react.
Too much shit happened at that house. Like you wanted to burn their house down. I wanted to beat somebody with a bat.
Yeah.
It was wild at that
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
We shouldn't
yeah.
have been there.
We shouldn't. But
That's
that's what
just
I'm
God
saying.
showing us we shouldn't have been there.
But that's what I'm saying. So like now in my age, I've always held when people are upset the words they use. I've always held them to that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it got a lot more stricter as we gotten older. Like to my point, when I'm younger, I expect you to say some crazy shit, but we always had a line,
Right.
right? So like for New Yorkers, for our New York fans, y'all already know like SMD is one of those lines you don't cross. Once you cross that,
Yeah, you throw the Frank stand, it's fighting.
yeah. Once you invite me to any Frank stand, the relationship damn near not even gonna come back.
It's very hard to come back from taking somebody to the Frank stand.
And that's a big ego thing because I've seen like these newer kids, these YNs, quick to say it. They also quick to say it to certain people though, because they
But
know.
they also say it in jest, like it's cool.
Yeah.
Whereas we just grew up different. We grew up with that's even in jest, that's not funny.
That's the highest line that you never cross. Like no matter what it is, because once you pass that, it's up.
Yeah.
But then like as I've gotten older, like I've told people I've been in relationships with, like yo, watch what you say when you angry, because I do my part on not trying to disrespect you, and I know that I leave people to know that yo, I know you upset, and I can't tell you how to be upset, but I will hope that you just monitor what you're saying because words are heavy.
Yeah. But you again, you've been my friend for a long time. You know how I give it up.
Yeah,
Like I'm very much whatever you say, I'm gonna make you stand on that.
that's what I'm saying.
Like I don't care if you was upset. I don't care if you was angry. I don't like you see you go and you do the thing I probably should do and I need to get better at is where you had this conversation like yo watch what you say.
Yeah.
I don't never had that conversation because in my mind and again this might be wrong. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. I'm very much we're adults.
True.
We're not in our 20s. We're in our 30s, bro. Like we in our mid 30s.
Yep.
I'm not. If you can't emotionally regulate yourself at this age, why am I doing it?
Yeah.
So now stand on what you say.
Yep.
You should be able to control. I'm not saying, and I know everybody's not great with that.
Point.
But you got to be able to control what you say at certain times because, like you said, I do my part to make sure I could be hot. I could be furious at something you say. I would rather walk out, take a breath, do whatever
That's what you're supposed to do.
before I say something that I can't take back.
Right. That's what you're supposed to do. And I've had that conversation with partners. I've had that conversation with family members and friends, all alike. Because in my mind, like I said, I understand when people are hot, they can't control a lot of their things. It's just like, yo, my number one is watch what you say. And that ain't even like in a threatening way.
Of course.
That's just more of a, like you said, whatever you say, I'm making you stand on that. Because I'm not going to disrespect you. I make a conscious decision not to call you out your name when that's my thought of speech. Right? So it's like, I could violate, I could disrespect, I could do all of that. And I'm in my right to do it sometimes. But I make a conscious decision to be adult about it. And I just want you to give me the bare minimum of that and watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because you could still call me an ain't shit person. You could wild out. I don't care. But once cooler heads prevail and we get back to status quo, I'm holding you on everything you said. Or at least I'm going to do what you do and just start acting on it.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, for me, I'm just more like, I've had too many situations in my life where somebody says something. This mostly goes to women because I don't really take this from dudes. But from women where they say whatever they say in the heat of the moment and I've eaten it and then I've learned, and I don't want to put this on all women. This is not a generalizing women thing, but at least the women I've dealt with, it was one of those things where once they felt like they could cross that line of disrespect and it wasn't deaded, that became a reoccurring thing.
That became the status norm.
And then once that happened, I learned, okay, going forward, I'm not doing that. We reach a certain level of disrespect. You say XYZ or whatever, like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with you. Cool.
Yeah.
I will bro, no conversation, no talk, no let's figure this out. Like I've been through that too many times recently, and I realize some people feel a way about that, which I don't get. But I'm like, you're not gonna say something crazy to me because you mad, or something I deem crazy because I realize like
That's another thing too.
you can't tell somebody how they supposed to interpret the things you say.
That's why I tell them. I tell them like, yo, I can't control what you're gonna say. I can't control how you feel, but I can also control how I react to everything you do or say.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel like you didn't say anything crazy or this is how you are, then I reserve the right to not talk to you anymore because this is how I am.
All right, so this is leaning into a different conversation. Do you think, or do you stand on the side of intent matters? Like with like the person could have said whatever they said and intended something different, but you interpreted it how you interpret it. And while you think about that, I can answer for me. I am on the side of intent don't matter. And people tell me I'm wrong for that. Like I don't think intent matter because I don't with your intent. Well, intent matter in certain scenarios. I'll say it that way. That's better. Intent matter in certain scenarios, but in other scenarios, your intent is irrelevant because let's say we in a heated moment and you say something wildly disrespectful, and I took it a certain way. Let's say you meant it a certain way. Either way, you did it with the intent of being disrespectful to me. No matter how I interpreted it, because some people like to argue the semantics of that's not what I meant. I meant it this way. In that moment, you used whatever it was as a device to hurt me.
Yeah.
So at that point,
That's where I was thinking.
The intent don't matter.
That's where I started thinking. So to answer your question, I agree. Intent matters in some scenarios, but to your earlier point, we're adults, so you intently said those things in the attempt to hurt my feelings or cut me deep or whatever, and I know that was your intent, so I'm gonna hold you to it, even though we sorted out. Cause I could say it like, yo, my intention when I said that was X, Y, and Z, and then I could come to you and say, yo, first off, accountability on that point where I'll be like, yo, my bad. The way I said that shit, I didn't really mean it that way. This is what I intended to. I feel like that washes it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times, people don't acknowledge that part. Because again, you can't control how somebody emote. So if you hot and you trying to get a thought out, however you get it out is however you got it out. But the hope is that you had some type of wherewithal to work through the process and work through the thought process or whatever. So if you come off and you say it in a crazy way, your intention was to get under my skin or to hurt. But if it's something that I'm picking at, then you could probably like rework it or whatever to still get that same point across.
Yeah.
Could that be a thing too? Like you want to get a certain point across and you're going to get it out however you feel like you need to.
Let me ask, in those heated moments, do you feel like the apology, like, does the timing of the apology matter? Like, if it's you and, let's say, a friend or a girl going back and forth, and they say something disrespectful in a heated moment, but immediately catch themselves and apologize,
That helps.
does that help, or does it not matter the time? Like, they could come immediate, they could go after, or like I'm just curious, does the timing matter of the apology if there is one?
The timing does matter based on the length of friendship.
I get that.
To me.
Yeah, I
if you catch yourself right away, like, yo, like if me and you were arguing and I go, if I say SMD, I go, yo, my bad, bro. That's not even us. My fault. I felt like that would go over well with you because you'll know, like, yo, he called himself. He a little wild. We gonna discuss that, but he called himself a little wild. Now, if I tell you SMD and just let it sit, in my mind, it's up whenever you see me for real. Right?
And we've been there with friends.
Yeah.
We've been there with friends.
Yeah, for sure. Because we like, yo, I'm gonna hang up the phone, or like you was like, yo, I'm not even gonna talk to you on Facebook. I'll be at your house tomorrow.
That's all I had. That's all I felt.
Yeah, and I've said the same thing. Like, yo, I'm gonna just get off the phone, but I'll see you either end of today or I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I'll see you soon, bro. Or I said I'll see you Friday. Like, I'll be there Friday, bro.
Yeah, cause I'm thinking like for friendships, you're right. The time matters. I want to agree that it also matters or will help in relationships, like with females, with women, sorry. But I don't know because I haven't been in those scenarios. Like it's one of those things that sound really good, but in my life, whenever something was said to me in a heated moment from a woman, it was never met with immediate like, oh my bad, I didn't mean to do that.
All right.
It was
After things settle.
it was the remark, and then it was continuance and then doubling down when I brought it up.
Oh yeah.
And then
You can't apologize if you double down, bro.
and then super later, like after I made them stand on business, then it's I didn't look at it that way. Nah, because now I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Apology ain't shit at that point.
Yeah.
You ever this ain't one of the things, but I've also implemented like, yo, what are you sorry for? Because people just say sorry just so we can wash and move. But like you said, I've been holding people more and more to stand on what they said when they're angry. So what are you sorry for? And how do you know? How do you know what that impacted me?
See, you growing at a faster rate than I am in this particular area because I don't get to the apology.
But no, cause like everybody can say I'm sorry. And you told me the other day to say I'm sorry. But even in that conversation, I was like, yeah, but what am I sorry for?
Oh yeah. But see, in that one, I understood that one, like because that wasn't like a disrespect thing. That was a different situation. But like, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I don't know about that because I again, it's one of those things where it sound good, but I've never been in that scenario to put it in place because I'm very much like once you say whatever you say,
we gonna hold you to it.
I'm gonna hold you to it, and at that point, apologies don't matter.
Right.
Once I get to the space of I'm holding you to what you said, the apologies don't matter. And again, maybe I need to work on that in as far as being forgiven or whatever. But I'm in a place of I spent a lot of time focusing on other people's feelings over mine, and now I'm in a place where I care about my feelings first. I care about how I am dealing with things or how things affect me primarily.
Right.
So the minute you say something or step out of line or go this and the third, I completely dead. I could genuinely, because I've done it and I've been in this, I could genuinely love you with all my heart. And the moment you cross a certain line, again, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to go back and forth. That will be the last. It's happened before where it was like, all right, word, yo, hit me when you calm down. And I banged it. And if that person never hit me, I'm never going to speak to them again.
Yeah, because naturally you think they ain't calmed down yet.
No, it's not that I don't care what they do at this point. Like my thing is, if you get disrespectful with me and I go, yo, hit me when you get off this, right, and you never reach out, because you already know how I stand on a lot of things. I'm very big on like in communication. I'm very big on communication being both ways.
True.
If it's always me, and I get to that point, oh no. Now I hit you twice after 2 times, you won't hear from me. I don't care if days, weeks, months go by. Out of my own, you can call it pettiness, out of pride or whatever, I'm not going to hit you till you reach out to me at that point.
No, that's true.
It was so funny because somebody recently just hit me up. I ain't speak to her in months. Like, I ain't speak to her maybe like 6-7 months randomly. And she just randomly hit me the other day. She's like, yeah, long time no speak. Why you doing, you know? And I'm just like, we was cool. We built a friendship outside of whatever the past was. We built the friendship.
Right.
And then you did that shit that I respect, by the way, that women do. Like, they get in a relationship and they just start, from the male friends in their life, they start distancing themselves, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's respect for your dude. So I'm never mad at it.
True.
But if I know you got a dude, I'm not going to be calling you, blowing you up. So if you don't hit me, I take it what it is. You doing your thing.
It's hard to gamble that whole you got a dude thing. Would you prefer the girl to tell you like, yeah, I got a boyfriend now? I'll probably like cut back on our communication.
No, that's the thing. For me personally, you don't gotta tell me. Like once you tell me, like, all right, we don't gotta have the conversation about communication. The moment a woman expresses or shows that she has a dude in her life, again, maybe just due to my experiences, I immediately put her in the Okay, I do what I'm supposed to do as a respectful friend. Like now it's yo, I'm not hitting you after a certain time. Like even if we was friends and like you know sometimes you got those female friends where you like when y'all both single y'all might make throw a little flirt here and there but it ain't nothing. You're not gonna do nothing.
Right.
All of that stops. Those long sitting on the phone conversations. I'm not doing none of that no more because if I had a girl and she was doing that with some dude, I don't care how long y'all been friends, I would feel a way about that. So we don't gotta have a conversation about that. But again, if the communication abruptly stops completely on your end,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta live with that because I'm gonna give you exactly what you give me. If you give me yo instead of talking every day, we talk like once a week or whatever, just a check in once a week. I'm gonna give you the same thing. Yo, just tapping in, making sure you good, keep it short, how the family, and keep it pushing. It ain't gonna be nothing more than that because I don't want you to get in some shit behind that.
Right.
But if it goes to drop to zero, then I'm gonna drop to zero too. It's not that I don't care, and maybe that's a problem with me because I have a there's a phrase for it, a therapy phrase for it. I don't remember exactly, but I have it's really really easy for me to detach. Like the slightest that I could detach. Like it could be a person and some people be like, nah, you didn't genuinely care about that person. You didn't genuinely love that person. And I'm like, nah, that's not it. That comes from, and you know where that comes from. That comes from in my personal life. That comes from my family. Like I got family members who I don't care enough about to talk to. So it's like if I could do that to them, I don't know how people at the outside think I can't just be like,
You don't
all right,
exist no more.
this ran this course. I'm out.
Yeah. I didn't intend that conversation to get that deep, bro.
I didn't either, but like you said, sometimes this is therapy.
On a lighter note, I forgot the podcast, but I think it's the Crash Out podcast. But they had this caller come in and they called. So I'm gonna ask you, in no particular order,
Mm-hmm.
list your top 5.
Of what?
No particular order, no particular category. Just name your top 5.
Name my top 5.
Yeah.
Of no particular order, no particular category.
I'll give you mine while you think about it.
Okay.
Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Roxy Reynolds,
Okay.
the Chinese store red and white box, the
Okay.
Chinese restaurant red and white box,
Okay.
the yellow box from Wendy's,
Okay.
and I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly.
All right. Solid. 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 All right. My top 5 in no particular order
Or category.
or category. Denzel Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this is hard, man. There's a lot of stuff. I know Denzel Washington in there for sure. I want to say. I'm gonna say Wendy's Nuggets. Wendy's Nuggets is up there in the top 5. What else is up there? Missionary. Missionaries in there. Missionaries in there. What I need 2 more?
Yeah.
2 more. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood
Okay.
and New Jack City.
Dope. You don't got no explanation as to why for any of those things?
Oh yeah, I could do that. Let's see. What are the things I said? Oh, Denzel Washington.
That's what you don't even gotta explain.
Come on,
that
man.
shit. Yeah.
You know what that is.
That's Denzel.
Wendy's Nuggets. Like if I had to pick any fast food item, I'd get like if I only had to pick, if I could only have one fast food item, it'd be Wendy's Nuggets.
Okay.
All the other sex positions is. I'm getting old, bro. Missionary is great, bro. I don't care what nobody say, bro. Missionary is great, bro. Like yeah, hitting it from the back is cool. Riding is cool. Missionary is great for both of us. Like for both of us, bro. So I love that. Um, Full Metal Alchemist Brothers probably one of the best animes ever created.
Dope.
What was the other thing I said?
And what was the last thing? You just said that shit.
Down, I'll be forgetting.
Nah, you just said that shit. How?
I know.
Oh, New Jack City. I'm
Oh.
looking, Frank.
New Jack, probably one of the best hood classics. Probably one of the best hood classics. People don't realize that was based on true characters slightly. But it's one of the best underrated hood classics because there are a lot of hood classics. Like that's like in my top 5 of underrated hood classics.
Bet. To explain mine, same thing. Michael Jackson is.
It's Michael Jackson.
I mean, you could argue Prince, whatever. Argue with your mother. What was my next one? I know I had the red and white Chinese store box, the Chinese restaurant box. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That red and white box, the food in that shit was just different, bro.
It was.
That whole era, that's the sitting outside summertime on the stoop vibes.
Yeah, bro. That's back when chicken wings and fried rice was $4, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It might have been 3.
That's when you get chicken wings for 50 cents.
Yeah.
That's how broke we was. I know if I had $1, I could get 2 50-cent wings, ketchup and hot sauce, and I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Roxy Reynolds.
I don't think if you don't know who Roxy Reynolds is, that's on you.
And honorable mention to all that Booty Talk series. In my research,
Booty Talk 3 specifically.
I'm a 90 guy. Like when they get into the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been watching Booty Talk for a long time.
That's a long time, bro. It went from VHS to DVDs. That's how long I've been in the game. The yellow Wendy's box, to your point, that's when they nuggets was at top tier.
I think that's when Wendy's was at top tier.
Yeah, bro. I believed at that time they never had frozen patties.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe that no more.
Yeah, they froze them shits. But at that time, I feel like it was fresh. Everything. Wendy's was top tier with the yellow and red.
Facts.
And R. Kelly, I Believe I Could Fly is a hood staple. He's a nasty person. We get it. I don't think we got to explain that anymore on this podcast. But I Believe I Could Fly has been in every graduation from 96 until about 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're phasing that out, bro.
Yeah. They try to like swing Ruben Studdard in there at one point.
But wouldn't it really be you can win as long as you keep your head to the sky? Because they still doing it.
Yeah.
They still do
But
it. They was doing that in 96 and they still doing that.
That's true. I think R. Kelly, I Believe I Could Fly is top 5 to me. You mentioned the anime. I got a question for you. I saw this shit somewhere circling the anime things. You know the young niggas say aura, right? You know what that means? Mm-hmm. Who you think got more aura? Minato or Itachi?
Itachi.
Yo, funny, my little brother said the same thing.
It's not even close.
No, he ain't say that.
No, it's not close.
Itachi?
It's not close. Aura is not close. Like skill, who would win? That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Aura,
Itachi.
It's not even close. Now, granted, Minato had aura. He had a flea on sight aura. Even though if you see that, you wasn't living anyway.
I ain't well versed, but from what you said, you was like, bro, he had a flea on sight, and if you saw him, you was already dead.
So that's like renown. I don't think that's aura. Aura was he stepped on the screen, and you knew whatever was about to happen involved him whipping ass. And Itachi had it. Every time he came through dripped in that black and red, you knew somebody was getting fucked up. And it wasn't him. I don't care what was going on.
What about keep the anime going, Goku Vegeta?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna give it to Vegeta, but I'm gonna be real. I don't think neither one of them got like in the Dragon Ball universe. I don't think neither one of them really got aura like that.
Who you think got the most aura? I personally, I think Vegeta as well. Just because my description for why Vegeta is because the bad niggas that wasn't even like introduced, and Earth niggas knew who Vegeta was.
Yeah, but that's because he used to work with them.
But that's what I'm saying though.
So it ain't like that. Like me, aura, Broly.
I could see it.
Vegeta saw that nigga and said, "I give up." He said, "What are y'all doing? That's the legendary Super Saiyan. Why are we fighting this nigga?"
Nah, you're right. You're right. Lord Barris had some aura too, but again, he wasn't really known. So when he stepped up, like he only like in the rest of like
yeah, he had aura to the people who knew of him,
yeah,
or knew about him, but like he wasn't like known to like the everyday people. But I don't know, bro. Them niggas saw Broly and was like, son, nah. I saw Broly snuff Vegeta out of Super Saiyan.
What about Luffy and the Black Bear Pirates?
Wait, are we talking about One Piece itself or just the Straw Hat Pirates?
One Piece
Itself?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. A lot of people got aura, bro.
Yeah, my little brother said the same thing.
I mean, a lot of people got aura. I mean, honestly, it's probably like just from fans' perspective, the most aura would probably be like somebody like Ace.
Okay.
Probably be somebody like Ace, but I would just from watching it, he died pretty early, but Whitebeard aura was crazy.
Really?
That nigga pulled up and the world government was like, hold up. Relax. Tell this nigga chill. It was a good time. I'm gonna get Eisen. Eisen got more aura.
My little brother said the same.
Eisen got more aura. Nigga, they thought they finished that. That nigga still there.
Nigga, Eisen planned everything that Ichigo was doing.
Nigga, he playing that nigga birth. he playing that nigga birth.
That's crazy.
He's a wild boy.
Just I had to ask you this shit. I was like, yo, you the one person I know outside of my little brothers, probably way more than them, that like anime heavy, so you would know like who got the most aura in the anime world, in all of them.
I mean, that's subjective.
That's a wild question to ask.
Yeah, because it's like it depends on what you looking at as aura.
Different shows got different things going on.
Yeah, like I said, it really just depends on what you looking at.
Scratch that from
looking at as aura.
Scratch that from the record. But I definitely agree with your Itachi shit.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure. Like I said, I'm not gonna argue with nobody who feel the other way.
Yeah,
but
see, my whole thing though is like Itachi was seen. We just heard stories about.
I mean, Minato was seen.
Minato.
No, he was seen. He came back. He did a lot. He did a lot, and they showed a lot of the backstory too. So we saw it. The issue is, again, for me, it was more of or put like this. Minato has so much stuff going on, like so many. Actually, not because in the beginning, niggas didn't even know. Like the way they did it was they introduced him and his feats a lot later. Early in the story, they didn't even really talk about the fourth Hokage much.
Right.
So he wasn't built up. But again, taking feats and who would win and all of that out of it, from the very first appearance of Itachi to his very last one, every time he stepped on the screen or on the panel, if you read the manga, you knew somebody other than him was about to get their ass whooped. And you just gotta live with that.
Like, I remember one nigga just kept repeating getting his ass whooped. He ain't noticed he was stuck in a cycle.
Oh yeah, no, he do that to you. He do that to you.
Stuck in a loop.
Terribly.
Just a few more questions. Few more questions before we slide. Um, your daughter and your wife got graduation on the same day. Your daughter high school, your wife masters. Which one you going to?
My daughter. Not even close.
Is there any graduation of your daughters that you would skip to go to your wife's graduation?
Her masters.
Your daughter's masters?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cause
So your wife and your daughter getting the masters at the same time. You gonna go to your daughter's graduation?
no, I go to my wife's.
Why? I don't disagree. I just want to know why.
Because at that point, like, I feel like certain things are core memories and certain things are important. Like, those milestones in a child's development, like, even though they're borderline adults, that high school graduation is a milestone in that child's development. If you go into for a master's degree, that means you already graduated college. That means you see me at this college for you during your graduation one time.
Mm.
I'm going to support your mama for hers, for her master's. Even though, again, likely, because again, if you get a master's degree, that means you graduated college once or twice already.
Mm.
I'm going to your mama's. But anything that's involved in your development, I'm gonna put the kids ahead.
That's smart. I didn't even think of it that way. I just thought of it like, let's just go to my wife's shit.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm like, if my like put it back to the original question, my kid's high school graduation, and my wife's master's degree graduation. You done graduated from college once or twice already. This is our child or my child. It could we could have different whatever. This could be my child first time graduating from high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even first and only time graduating from high school. You don't get to do that shit again.
Okay.
So I'm going to my kid's high school graduation.
All right, bet. I would do the same. What you think is something that all adults should have? Like one thing all adults should have in their house.
Like generally or specific? Like in terms of what?
Just generally, like I feel like all adults should have an iron board.
I can see not having an iron board. I just feel like even if you don't really know how to use everything in it, I feel like all adults should have a toolbox in their house. Like a tool, like if you can't just pull out a screwdriver or a hammer or something like that, even if you never use it.
Yeah.
I know, especially a lot of women. I know a lot of women who have toolboxes that they don't use just for like whenever they father, brother, boyfriend, whatever come over, if something need to be fixed,
They can use the toolbox.
they ain't gotta go find their own shit or figure it out. They got everything there. So I feel like every adult should have a toolbox or a tool set.
I feel the same. I didn't think of the toolbox before because I have one, but like you said, to your point, I don't feel like lugging with my stuff every day. So if you got like the bare minimal toolbox, screwdriver. See, that's the thing. I hate using screwdrivers. You gotta hold it. Like I'd rather the gun. But
they also have electronic screwdrivers.
I seen it now. Yeah, they got some new stuff now.
But like I feel like that's like even if you're an adult out there and you don't got a toolbox, just get one. And when I mean toolbox or tool set, when I say toolbox or tool set, I don't mean go buy a hammer and a screwdriver. Like get a little even if it's a little $50, $60, $40 tool set that got like a wrench, a hammer.
The basics.
Yeah, like the basic stuff. You don't gotta have a full setup. But
last question for you before we slide. You think them people that be killing them celebrities be thinking like, damn, I really just killed this nigga? Like I was thinking about like I heard a song yesterday that brought me back to Nip. And you think like the person that killed Nip, the dumbass that killed PNB, Scooter, all these people, all these like celebrities that died, got murdered or whatever. You think they think like, yo, damn, I really killed that nigga?
I think when they sit in jail, yeah.
You think they remorseful about it though? Like, damn, I really killed that nigga.
I'm not gonna speak on
That's true.
how they feel about it because honestly, a lot of people sometimes misinterpret remorse. It's not really a lot of people. It ain't even remorse for what they did. It's not remorse for the other person losing their life. It's the remorseful like, damn, I can't believe I let myself get that hot and do it. Like they feeling pity for themselves and not remorseful for the fact that somebody's no longer here.
All right, so then to my point, right? So it's like take for instance Nip. It's really about Nip. 'Cause I think about Nip all the time. If you killed this man for whatever personal situations y'all had going on, right? And then the common theme across the world is everybody hate you now. So you gotta live with that now. You gotta live with knowing everywhere you go if you recognized or if you got convicted for this crime, which you did, I think. And you gotta live with the fact that your face is now known and synonymous with the murder of somebody that was so well renowned and beloved. Mm-hmm. Like, you was already looking over your shoulder just off of GP. You took a life. That man got family. That man got friends that might want to see you about that. But then now you got to look over your shoulder about regular people that wasn't related, wasn't connected, but still feel some type of connection to him. It's just like, now you gotta feel how I felt for taking out somebody so renowned, right? Like if that helicopter guy had survived with the Kobe crash, my nigga.
Yeah, but see, that's different. That was an act.
That's what I'm saying. You could eat that and you could let that go because that was an accident. But like, bro, you still alive walking around and then find out you did it over some bullshit.
Oh yeah, nah, those people, like, again, I think they might more feel bad about the situation they're in than feel bad that they took somebody's life.
Okay, so you don't even think they care about the life part?
No, I think they care, but I think if they're weighing what's making them feel bad, they feel bad like how did I let my life get here?
Okay,
rather than damn, I can't, because if you're not even focused, if you focused on the life, you're not worried about the consequences and what you're dealing with. You like, damn, I took a person out of here.
Yeah.
I took a person away from their family. I took a father away from their kids.
Yep.
Whatever. But a lot of times people is more focused about the result of what happened than actually what happened.
You think crackheads feel like, damn, I'm really a crackhead?
Nah. I think crackheads think they're superhumans in their head.
Okay. So you don't think at some point they go, so I'm really out here on crack?
Son, if you survive crack for 30 years, I don't think you can die. I don't think you give a shit about nothing.
Because I be seeing some of the crackheads, like, just, like, kissing the earth, damn near. And I wonder if they just think, like, when they come down from that high, whatever high they...
When you say kissing, you mean like the lean?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's heroin. That's not crack.
All right, so you think they be like, so I'm out here on dope?
Yes. I think dope fiends feel fucked up. I've seen dope fiends be fucked up and feel remorseful and regret. Crackheads is actually motivational. That's going to sound fucked up. But because crackheads don't give a fuck what they got to do. He going to get that money. Crackhead, you could get a crackhead to wash your car, fucking detail your shit, cut your grass, set up fraud cable for $40. And they don't give a fuck. They'll get all that shit done in 3 hours and won't give a damn. Like, as long as they get their money so they can get their crack, they cool. Dope fiends, I think they feel bad because they unproductive. Like, they fuck up everybody's life and they unproductive. They like to rob and steal. Crackheads, like, I'm not saying crackheads don't steal, because of course you ain't gonna leave nothing expensive out around the crackhead.
Right.
But crackheads will work for the money.
To do crack.
They will work for the money.
Shout out to the crackheads.
Shout out to crackheads. Dope fiends is foul, bro.
That sound like another one, man.
Absolutely.
That sound like another one. Yo, once again, this episode has been sponsored by soheresthething.merch. Head over there. Good people over there putting them things together for us.
Absolutely. We gonna figure some things out. I'm actually in the process of working on some other stuff, like to figure out how to get some of this stuff outsourced and set up so we can actually be like more consistent and on time with drops.
Yep.
But go check it out. You know, for the fall stuff. Get your fall stuff early. I don't know. Maybe I'll put out like a summer promo code. Just since it's the summertime and they buying sweatsuits, I might as well just put out a little summer promo code, and we'll figure it out from there. But y'all already know the vibes, man. We want to hear from y'all. We want to get y'all vibes. Let us know what y'all thought about this episode. You know, answer some of these questions. Let us know what y'all think. You already know the vibes. So here's the thing. Pod on Instagram. SHTT Pod on Facebook and Twitter. And if the social media thing ain't your thing, you can reach out to us at soheresthething@yahoo.com. You heard?
Yep, and if that the visuals not your thing that you want to get involved with, we everywhere audio. We everywhere a podcast is held audio. That's iTunes, that's Spotify, that's iHeart, that's Google. Whoever got podcasts pumping, so here's the thing, podcast is there pumping with them. I have been your boy Young Stiz. Y'all know my slogies. If the girl, whatever, we out.
It's 2. We gone, brother. Peace.